Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Jamie here. Hope you're all having a great week. So, in this video, I wanted to talk about 6 steps for turning your weaknesses into strengths. So, first, you want to recognize and accept your weaknesses. This is always the hardest part um, because people aren't always willing to acknowledge that they have weaknesses. But once you do that, then you can start to determine what they are. It could be easy to deny that weaknesses exist because we try so hard to ignore them rather than address them head on. I have a habit of avoiding rejection. And even though that's understandable, there's a lot of times that it makes me afraid to take risks that could end up benefiting me. You could be, you could have a fear of, public speaking or, um, of confrontation, anything like that. Those are the most common ones that I've come across. You could be afraid of, asking someone out on a date or asking for a raise or, um, just bringing anything up, entering any scenario where you might experience rejection, anything where you might hear the word no, you might shy away from. That's something that I've had to work on. That's something I've helped other people work on that I've seen. So that might apply to you. It might not. You might be okay with that. You might have some other weakness. The important thing is to think about your life and how you go through life, what you do, and see if there's anything that you've always struggled with that you might consider a weakness. And once you find that weakness, the next step is to seek guidance from someone that you trust. So even when you know your weaknesses, it can be hard to overcome them by yourself. So turning to a trusted friend for advice can often help overcome your weaknesses by giving an objective view at how you handle things and how you can improve. So if you have someone that you can go to um, and say, hey, these are my weaknesses, just keep an eye out and, watch how I do things and help me correct them. If I start to get in my own way or start to let things, stop me from doing things that I might want to do that I'm sort of shying away from. I have people that I trust to understand my thought process and can help guide me towards doing what's best for me if my own fears get in the way. So that's an important support system to have. This way, you have someone who you can always lean on. It could be a spouse or a significant other. It could be a best friend, a family member. Doesn't necessarily matter who it is, as long as you have someone who understands you and can sort of, keep you on track and, help you overcome your weaknesses. So once you have that person, you want to learn to be very prepared for any difficult situations that might come up. So what that means is, preparation can often help cover up any weaknesses you have if you practice putting yourself in a situation requiring a skill that you're weak in. So if you're weak with, job interviews, you get asked questions and it's hard to think of answers off the top of your head. Obviously, if you have a phone interview, it's a lot easier because you can have your answers written down, prepare ahead of time, or just study up on it, even if it's an in person interview. So, things like that, the more you study, treat it like a test. The more information that you have and you can prepare for, the easier it'll be. So, planning ahead is important in general, and it can especially be useful if you can identify weaknesses ahead of time and how to compensate for them. For me, I'm not that great with public speaking since I usually forget what I want to say. So I just practice imagining the key points that I want to cover, and usually I end up doing pretty well. You see people, presentations have index cards, they list off bullet points and they kind of go from there and improvise. Sometimes even that's too hard for me. But the point is to prepare as much information that you can remember as possible. In the case of public speaking, this way it'll become a lot easier for you to get through that situation. And the next step, once you get past that, once you have someone in place, once um, you learn to be prepared. Even then, that might not be enough. So what you could also do is you can hire any skills that you lack. So let's say you own a business. You can't possibly do everything. You might own a web design business. You might be great at the technical part, the web design part. You might be able to help your web designers do what they need to do. But you're not that good at marketing. You're not that good at sales. You're just not that good at bringing money into your business and spreading the word and getting new clients. So you hire people who are skilled with marketing. This is useful to keep in mind in life in general, since you can save time by hiring people for jobs with skills that you lack. Um, so if you can make up those deficits, then it's just a lot more time efficient. It's a big effort to trust people with specific skills that you need, but when your time is valuable, it could be worth it to free up your own time to focus on what you're good at instead. I'm not the best at things like marketing or investing. Um, so while I give myself basic understanding of it, I trust others to take care of the hard work for me. So you want to make sure that you understand what you want done, just at a basic level. So you can make sure that if you hire someone, you know they're doing a good job, um, but you don't necessarily have to force yourself to you know understand the advanced parts of it, or any parts of it that you would be hiring other people to do as well. You just want to understand, hey, I need to bring in clients to my business. I trust you to take care of that. If they're bringing clients into your business, you can understand generally how they go about advertising, where the money's going, that you're spending on advertising, but you don't necessarily need to know at a high level everything that they're doing. Because even if you could understand that, you're just going to burn yourself out. So learn to trust other people to take care of that stuff for you. So next, you want to try and become just good enough. So in addition to hiring other people to make up for those skills, like I said, you always want to have a basic understanding of it in general. It's impossible to master every skill, but sometimes it's important to learn enough about certain skills to help you know right from wrong. So focus on skills that would be very costly if you didn't know them, such as budgeting, minor home repair, cooking, basic computer skills, things like that. I'm fortunate enough to be technically proficient, which helps me with a lot of things. It also helps me learn things I don't know, like marketing, fixing things around the house, what to cook, what to invest in. I know how to do research. I know how to look up and use different apps that can help streamline these processes for me. Um, so things like that, you want to keep in mind. You want to identify what skills are important to know. Obviously budgeting is very important because you want to know where your money's going, how much you're bringing in, how much is going out. Because if you're not good with money, you're probably going to fall short in a lot of areas. So um, just make sure that you have a basic understanding of as much as possible. Um, because if you identify certain weaknesses that you have and you know that they're significantly affecting your life, see what you can do to just gain a basic understanding, and maybe you can pay a little bit to have someone else manage it, or have someone else, like a company or an app that you can use, make it easier to make up for that lack of skill that you have. So lastly, what you want to do is look for ways to help others with the same problems. So if there's a skill that you're weak in or you're lacking, chances are that many other people are struggling with the same issues. So think about how you would want to help yourself overcome your weakness and apply it to others. Chances are you can come up with a way of doing both and learn as you go. So for me, I started helping people become happier and healthier in their lives because I wasn't happy or healthy in my own life. So I laid out my weaknesses, found out what others also struggled with, and came up with ways to help others and myself at the same time, which might sound counterintuitive. How can you help people if you're not in the best spot yourself? Well, nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to be perfect. I'm still not perfect. This I have a process for myself every day. I have a routine, things I go through every day to help keep myself at a certain level. If you don't do those things, then you're going to end up falling short. You want to keep, almost like this. Almost like a bar. You want to keep the bar high in different areas of your life. And if you're not doing certain things, then, the bar is going to decrease, if that makes sense. So, again, I learned by doing, I learned by helping. You only need to learn, you only need to know a little bit more than someone else to be able to help them. You might see people that, have blogs and, post videos and things like that, um, teaching you different things, when you might have been looking up the answer to a question, and you might learn from that. You might expand on it. You might really relay the information with your own experiences, and that can help you even more as well. So keep that in mind, and you can definitely help make up for your weaknesses by getting in the habit of helping others as well, and sort of doing just collaborating with with people online as a whole, to sort of reach the next level in finding the best way to make up for certain weaknesses. So all right, so that's all I have for this video. You know Go through it again if you didn't understand anything. These steps will definitely help you to identify your weaknesses and help turn them into strengths, or at least make up for a lack of skill that you have, or whatever weaknesses that you have. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to like and subscribe to these videos. Always putting out new ones. Always looking for feedback of what could be improved, what kind of topics people are looking for. This definitely helped me, so I'm sure it can help you too. All right, again, that is it for this video, and I will speak to you in the next one. All right, so bye for now.